You know, read St. Joseph Hesychist when he gritted his teeth up in those, and he was far from any of the temptations we have today, and he was gritting his teeth, and he was saying, "I'm not going to let this thing move me." He was violent.
Let's stay on him for a second. Yeah. Let's stay on St. Joseph for a second. You know, there's kind of a craze presently with this figure, Andrew Tate. Uh-huh. A lot of people watch him. A lot of young men are watching him, and I can understand he has a huge following amongst young men. Yeah. Tucker Carlson just did an interview with him, which I found fascinating. And a lot of the things he's saying is just calling young men, to be uniquely men, not unisex, to be uniquely men. Unfortunately, he doesn't know Christ, and he doesn't know the church, and he has a lot of misconceptions about what that means. But the idea of masculinity, the idea of building in yourself a manly disposition, this is right from God.
Absolutely.
This mentality is right from God. Learning not to be self-centered, learning to lay your life down for other people, learning to say no when you want comforts, so that you can actually put on your shoulders. You know, men have biologically much larger shoulders than women. We have these big, wide, thick bones, big shoulders, big legs. We're designed to carry burdens. We have to put our wife on our shoulders, our children on our shoulders, the provision for the household on our shoulders. This responsibility brings great satisfaction. It brings great happiness, and it brings Christ's aid. When he sees one of his young soldiers working hard like this, even if you fall down, he comes to your aid.
The Lord doesn't want a bunch of pushovers. If you're going to go along with everything, right? That's not some great virtue. You see that in the scriptures. Oh, they went along with everything. They were great, wonderful Christians. You've got to fight if you're a Christian. I mean, not physically, but spiritually, you've got to grit your teeth and fight.
Yeah, it's war. It's war. And I understand people get tired, and young men get tired. I get tired. But that doesn't change reality. If you're in the middle of a war, bullets are flying everywhere, and you're tired of it, you can't just say, "Oh, well, I'm tired. I'm taking a break." You put your gun down and you start walking across the field. You're dead.
You're dead.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
So we can complain about it all we want. It is what it is. And St. Paul says that we are engaged in spiritual warfare with world forces of darkness.
They got to be inspired by good examples. And Tate is not the greatest example.
No, he's not. But St. Joseph the Hesychist is.
Yes, he is.
You remember that time in his life he was struggling to keep his prayer alive, and he was in his cell, and he heard the door open, and he knew it was a demon. What did he do? He leapt on it. He literally jumped up on the demon. He describes in his letter that he felt it with like a pig with prickly things coming out of his side. I thought to myself, when I read that, I just went, I am not a man. That's the first thing I thought. I am a woman, and a bad one at that. That's what I thought. I mean, how that right there?
Yes, I remember years ago, 20 years ago, I was talking to a monk at my house, and he said, I said, what's the greatest, St. Joseph had a virtue that we all lack. He said, it's called determination. Oh. He never let go. He never stopped. He took, this is kind of controversial. I don't know if I should say it, but he took, when he had the temptation of the flesh, he took this wood to his leg. Oh. And he didn't stop until that fleshly desire left him. Now that sounds a little bit Middle Ages, Western, but I don't think so. I mean, it's a different context, different thing. But he said to somebody, there was a monk who came to him and said, I got this temptation. He said, here, I got the solution for you. And then he went away and he came back later and he said, I still got it. He said, well, how are you doing it? He said, oh, no, that's not how you do it. Let me show you how you do it. But the point I'm trying to make here is not that everybody should go out and imitate St. Joseph, because we're not, we're, as you said, we're women. But the point is he was determined. He didn't say, oh, I give up after an hour or two.
Faithfulness at any cost.
That's faithfulness right there. We need to be, and you said earlier, faithful until the end, right? That's an example. Don't give up to the last breath. And that's love. I think ultimately the reason why we're all pathetic is we don't have any love. You can't be virgin. You can't be an ascetic if you don't have love for Christ and put him above everything else. People are love today. We hear about love all the time. It has nothing to do with it. The love that the saints had was the love of denial, self-denial until the end.
Yeah, and it's what our Savior wants from us. You know, the thought that he would look at us and he'd say, if you love me,
Yes.
keep my words.
Yes.
Keep my words. Hold on fast to him. He's seeking that from us.
Yes.
If you love me.
Keep my commandments.
Yeah.
Commandments are life. If you want life, you got to keep my commandments. That's fantastic. Last word about people searching for brides and husbands today, because I get this all the time. Every time we put a third time now, we put the little clip I've got. What do you do to find a husband and wife? I got this clip, and every time it's like, thousands of people are looking at this because everybody's looking for a bride.
Thank God for that.
It's a good thing.
Thank God for
But
that.
they're struggling to find one.
You're right, but these young people are seeing, they're hearing us. They're hearing us. They see that it's a mystery in the church. Marriage is a mystery. They're seeing it. They want it. Now just take the counsel of the church on how to get it. And I tell people, this is what was told me, and it was blessed in my life. I wanted to get married when I was 15 years old. I did. I think it was from God. I think it was just a gift from God. And I told my dad, hey, Dad, I want to get married. And I had a little business. Yeah. I was a gardener. I wasn't making much, but I was making money and it was coming in. And he looked at me and goes, He goes, you're too young. I said, well, what are you talking? I thought, a lot of 15-year-olds, they think they're done. They're grown. Yeah. I thought so.
I got.
I was 6'1" or 2. I'm like, all right. And my dad said, no, maybe 18. I'm like, okay, what do I have to do then? And he gave me some advice. I really wanted it. I really wanted to have a family. And then someone came and they told me, this is what you should do. He goes, you have to decide who you want to marry. I'm like, well, that's a good point. What if my dad had said, yes, man, where do I go? Where do I find this? So this person told me, get out a piece of paper and write down the qualities that you respect in a wife, that you want for your own wife. So that's what I did. I got out a legal piece of paper. I remember it had 33 lines, and I wrote down a quality on every single line. I want her to be trustworthy. I want to be able to trust her. I want her to be someone who's devout, someone who prays, not just when I'm around. Like, whether I'm married or not, she has a relationship with God. I'm number 2, not number 1. I want her to love the outdoors. I want her to take care of herself. I want her to read the scriptures faithfully. I mean, I just wrote all the stuff I wanted. But then the kicker. And then the person told me, once that's done, take your paper and erase the top, my future wife. Put your name there. Be those things and be confident that in the pursuit of those things, God will find you your match. Absolutely. That blew me away. So I stopped just looking out there while I was ill-prepared. Yes. And I instead decided, I better put myself together here. I need to be someone that a woman would view as a catch, not just me looking to fish. Absolutely. And that changed my whole mentality. And I think that's the way to do it. Yeah. That's the way to do it. Cultivate what you think God's calling you to.
Because marriage is about salvation. If you're not first and foremost struggling to become in the likeness, getting married is gonna be a disaster. If you don't, what's the point? Yeah, it's about salvation. So you've got to be about that, and then she's gonna want you because she's about that.
Exactly, because you're going someplace.
Yeah, and you're gonna go together, and it's gonna be a successful marriage. How far are we from that in today's society? Orthodox Christians have to get a whole different view. You got to throw off that worldly view of what it means to be married. Why am I getting married? People are needy. I want a wife because I want this, and this.
Yes, I want.
Take the disaster. Absolutely. I think that's a great story. Thank you for telling me that.